Eli Carter stood inside the drop pod and listened to the slow beeping of the control panel. Outside the small window, the planet Varkos filled the view with dark green clouds and wide blue rivers that cut through strange forests. This planet was known across the galaxy as a place where no explorer had ever returned. The Galactic Academy had sent Eli here because he was human. Humans were new to space travel, but they were famous for surviving in places others could not. Still, even his own teachers believed this mission was only for data, not for rescue. When the pod landed, the ground shook. Eli held the straps of his suit and waited until the noise stopped. The door opened with a hiss and warm air rushed inside. It smelled like wet plants and metal. Eli stepped out slowly. Tall trees with glowing leaves rose around him. The sky was purple and full of moving clouds. Somewhere far away, something large made a deep sound, like thunder mixed with a growl. Eli did not run. He looked around with wide eyes and spoke calmly into the camera on his helmet. "Hello, Academy," he said. "Human Cadet Eli Carter has landed on Varkos. I'm still alive. So far so good." He planted a small flag near the pod and checked his scanner. The machine showed water nearby and no danger close to him. That surprised him. The planet was called a death world, but it felt quiet. Eli walked toward the river. The ground was soft and strange insects flew around his boots. Some had wings like glass. Others glowed softly in the dark shade of the trees. At the river, he knelt down and touched the water with his glove. It was clear and cold. Fish-like shapes moved under the surface, shining blue and silver. "This place is not empty," Eli whispered. "It is full of life." He opened his pack and took out a small food bar. As he did, the ground near the river moved. Something huge rose from the water. It had thick skin like stone and eyes as big as his helmet. Long fins rested on its back, and its tail hit the water slowly. It did not roar. It did not attack. It only watched him. Eli froze. His heart beat fast, but he did not scream. The creature leaned forward and sniffed the air. Its breath made the water ripple. Eli remembered his training. Do not act like prey. Slowly he lifted the food bar and held it out. "I am not here to fight," he said softly, even though he knew the creature could not understand words. The beast tilted its head. Then it made a low sound, not angry, not friendly. Curious. After a long moment, it sank back into the river and swam in a wide circle. Eli stepped back and sat on a rock, breathing hard. "That was big," he said to the camera. "Very big." He did not leave the river. Instead he stayed and watched. The creature returned again and again, but it did not come close. It only swam and looked at him. Eli began to laugh. "Looks like I have a neighbor." As night came, the forest lights grew brighter. Small glowing plants opened like stars on the ground. Eli built a simple shelter near the pod and placed sensors around it. Far away, the Academy control room waited for his signal. They expected silence. They expected loss. Instead, a video file arrived. The screen showed Eli sitting near the river, smiling tiredly. "Day 1 on Varkos," he said. "I met something huge and it did not eat me. I think this planet is not trying to kill me. I think it is just misunderstood." Behind him, the river moved. For 1 second, the large creature's fin appeared above the water, then disappeared again. The alien scientists stared in shock. "He should be dead," one of them said. But Eli was alive. He was warm, curious, and calm on a planet no one had ever survived. As the night sky filled with strange stars, Eli lay inside his shelter and listened to the river and the deep sounds of the forest. "This might be the start of something new," he whispered to himself. And on the most feared planet in the galaxy, a human slept peacefully on the first night. The next morning, Eli woke to the sound of water moving near his shelter. The sky was light purple and the glowing plants were slowly closing their leaves. He stepped outside and saw the river shining under the early light. He checked his scanner. No danger signs appeared. Still, he remembered the huge creature from the night before. Eli walked carefully to the riverbank. He kept his hands open and moved slowly, just like he had learned on Earth when meeting wild animals. The water began to move again. The same large creature rose from the river. Its skin was dark blue in the morning light, and its eyes reflected the sky. It was taller than Eli when it lifted its head above the water. Eli's heart beat fast, but he did not run. "Good morning," he said softly. The creature made a deep sound like air moving through stone. It did not come closer. It only watched him. Eli took a small metal box from his pack. Inside were dried food pieces made for survival. He dropped one piece into the water and stepped back. The food floated near the creature. The beast swam forward and touched it with its nose. Then it ate it in one slow bite. It did not attack. It did not grow angry. It only stayed there. Eli smiled. You like that, don't you? He sat on a rock and waited. The creature stayed in the water near him. Sometimes it dipped under the surface and came back up again. Its tail made small waves. Eli turned on his helmet camera. Day 2, he said. I think the river beast is not a monster. I think it is just curious. I will call it Splash. The name felt right. Splash made a low sound and hit the water with its tail. Eli spent the day near the river. He collected samples of plants and stones. Splash followed him from the water, staying close to the edge. When a flying creature came too near, Splash lifted its head and made a warning sound. The flyer turned away at once. Eli noticed this and felt safer. By midday, Eli tried to catch a fish with a simple tool he built from wire and metal. He slipped once and almost fell into the river. Splash moved fast and placed its large body between Eli and the deeper water. Eli sat back on the rocks, breathing hard. Thank you, he said quietly. Splash looked at him and made another deep sound. From that moment they stayed near each other. In the afternoon, dark clouds rolled over the forest. The wind grew strong and the trees bent low. Eli ran back to his shelter. Splash swam beside him in the river. Rain fell like heavy glass. The river rose quickly and water hit the sides of Eli's shelter. He worried it would break. Then Splash pushed its body against the shelter wall on the riverside. Its strong shape blocked the water from hitting too hard. Eli watched through the small window in fear and surprise. The storm passed after a long hour. The sky cleared and light returned. Eli stepped outside. His shelter was still standing. Splash rested in the water nearby. You saved my home, Eli said. He placed another piece of food on the ground near the river. Splash came closer than before and took it gently. The distance between them became smaller each hour. That night, Eli sat near a small fire and cooked one of the river fish. Splash stayed half in the water and half on the land, watching him with slow eyes. Eli shared a piece of cooked fish by placing it on a flat stone. Splash tasted it and made a pleased sound. The stars above Varkos were bright and strange. Eli felt less alone than he had on the first night. Far away, the Galactic Academy received another message. They saw Eli sitting beside the river with the huge creature behind him. This planet has a guardian, Eli said in the video. And I think it has chosen me as a friend. The scientists could not believe their eyes. The beast that should have killed him was now staying close to him. As the night grew quiet, Eli lay inside his shelter. He could hear Splash moving in the river nearby. For the first time since landing on Varkos, Eli felt safe. The planet that was called a no-return world now had 2 watchers by the river, a human and a beast sharing the same night in peace. Eli woke up early on the 3rd day with a new idea in his mind. The river was calm and soft light covered the strange trees. Splash was already in the water, moving slowly in circles as if waiting for him. Eli walked to the river with his camera on. Today I will try something different, he said to the camera. I will make a fishing video. He built a simple fishing tool from wire and a thin metal rod. He tied a small shiny piece from his suit to the end as bait. Then he sat on a flat rock near the water. Splash lifted its head and watched him. Okay, Splash, Eli said with a smile. Let's see if you can help me. Eli lowered the tool into the river. The water was clear and he could see bright fish swimming below. They moved fast and changed color when light touched them. Splash swam close to the bait. The fish followed Splash, thinking it was part of their world. When they came near the hook, Eli lifted the rod slowly. A silver blue fish jumped out of the water. I caught one. Eli laughed. Splash made a deep happy sound and hit the water with its tail. Eli held the fish up to the camera. Day 3 on Varkos, he said. Fishing with my beast friend. He placed the fish in a small container and tried again. Each time Splash moved near the fish and Eli caught another one. It felt like a game between them. After a while, Eli built a small fire near the river and cooked one fish carefully. The smell filled the air. Splash came closer and watched with wide eyes. Eli placed a piece of cooked fish on a stone. For you, he said. Splash touched it with its nose and then ate it slowly. It made a sound that felt like a quiet song. Eli sat beside Splash and ate his own fish. This planet is not a no-return planet, Eli said to the camera. It is just different. You only need to learn how to live with it. Far away inside the Galactic Academy, the signal reached the control room. The screen turned on. The aliens expected a danger report or silence. Instead, they saw Eli sitting near a river with a huge creature beside him. One scientist dropped his tablet. He is fishing, another said in shock. He named the beast, said a third. He is feeding it. The video continued. Eli waved at the camera. Hello everyone. Welcome to my fishing vlog. Behind him, Splash lifted its head and made a slow sound. The room became silent. This is impossible, the commander said. That creature is listed as a top predator. But it looks calm, a scientist whispered. Back on Varkos, Eli kept talking to the camera. I learned that Splash scares away other animals. So the river is safe. Also, the fish are good to eat. I think humans could live here one day. Splash suddenly jumped into the water and came back with a fish in its mouth. It dropped the fish near Eli's feet. Eli stared at it. Did you bring that for me? Splash made a happy sound. Eli laughed loudly. My beast pet just went fishing for me. He held the fish up to the camera. See? Teamwork. The video ended with Eli sitting by the river at sunset, Splash beside him and the sky turning orange and purple. When the Academy watched the full video, the room filled with voices. He should be scared, one alien said. But he is smiling. This changes everything, another said. If a human can live there, maybe the planet is not cursed. The video spread across many systems. Other species watched in disbelief. They had sent a human to die, but he had sent back a fishing vlog. On Varkos, Eli turned off his camera and looked at Splash. You are famous now, he said. Splash made a slow sound and rested its head near the riverbank. That night, Eli built a small sign near the river. It was simple and made from metal parts. It read, Fishing Spot 1. Eli lay in his shelter and listened to the river and Splash's soft movements in the water. The no-return planet had become a fishing place. And a human cadet had turned danger into a simple story of survival, friendship, and a strange beast that liked fish as much as he did. The video spread faster than anyone expected. First, it reached the Galactic Academy. Then it moved to science stations, trade worlds, and even distant space colonies. Everywhere, beings stopped to watch the strange human sitting beside a giant river beast and smiling into the camera. Many could not believe it was real. On one space station, a group of scientists watched the fishing vlog again and again. They slowed the video and studied every movement of the creature called Splash. That animal is listed as one of the most dangerous life forms on Varkos, one scientist said. It should have attacked him. But it did not, another replied. It helped him. In the Academy Council room, leaders from many species gathered around a large screen. Eli's face appeared, dusty and tired but happy. He built a shelter, said one leader. He cooks food. He names the beast. He is acting like this is a park, said another in disbelief. Some aliens felt afraid. Others felt curious. A few felt embarrassed. We sent him there to collect data, the commander said quietly. We did not expect him to make friends. New messages arrived from many worlds. Explorers wanted to know if the planet was truly safe. Teachers wanted to use Eli's video in schools. Children watched Splash swim and asked their parents why humans were not scared. On Varkos, Eli did not know he had become famous. He was busy fixing his shelter and cleaning his fishing tools. Splash stayed close to the riverbank, sometimes lifting its head to watch the sky. Eli turned on his camera again. Day 4, he said. I think Splash understands me now. When I sit here it stays calm. When I leave it follows. Splash made a low sound and moved closer to him. Eli smiled. See? Good behavior. Back in space, the new video caused even more noise. A group of alien reporters made a special program called The Human on the Death Planet. They showed clips of Eli fishing, cooking, and talking to Splash. One reporter said, This changes our idea of danger. Humans do not fight everything. Sometimes they just talk to it. A scientist added, They study first. They learn patterns. They build trust. Soon, the planet Varkos was no longer called No Return. Some people started calling it the River World. Ships sent small drones to scan the planet from space. The drones showed forests, rivers, and many living creatures. Nothing looked like a dead world anymore. One young alien student watched the video in her classroom and raised her hand. If the human can live there, she asked, why can't we? Her teacher paused. Because humans are different. On Varkos, Eli walked along the river and placed small markers in the ground. He made notes about safe paths and quiet areas. Splash followed him like a shadow in the water. Once, a loud flying creature came close and screamed. Splash lifted its head and made a strong sound. The flyer turned away at once. Eli spoke to the camera. Splash keeps the river safe. I think this is its home. I'm just visiting. The Academy sent a message to Eli at last. Cadet Carter, the voice said, your mission is complete. Prepare for return. Eli looked at the message for a long time. Then he looked at Splash swimming near the shore. I will think about it, he said softly. He sent a short reply. I am okay. The planet is safe. I am still learning. The council room filled with quiet voices. He wants to stay longer, one leader said. He is not afraid, said another. He respects the planet. News of this spread again. Many beings began to talk about humans in a new way. They do not see monsters, one alien writer said. They see neighbors. On the fifth night, Eli sat by the river and watched the stars. Splash rested half in the water, half on land. The forest glowed around them. Far away, billions of eyes had watched his fishing vlog. But here, there was only the sound of water and the slow breathing of a great beast. The galaxy had changed its mind about Varkos. And it had changed its mind about humans too. The no-return planet was no longer a place of fear. It had become a place of wonder, all because one human did not run, did not fight, and did not give up. The next morning, Eli was sitting by the river when his suit made a soft sound. A new message had arrived from space. He stood still for a moment before opening it. The screen showed the symbol of the Galactic Academy. Then the face of the commander appeared. Cadet Eli Carter, the message said, your mission has changed. A rescue ship is on its way. You are ordered to return home. Eli looked at the river. Splash was swimming slowly near the bank, making small waves in the water. Oh. The word felt strange now. Eli walked closer to the river and sat on a rock. Splash lifted its head and watched him. They are coming for me, Eli said softly. I have to leave soon. Splash made a low sound and moved closer to the shore. Eli turned on his camera one last time. Hello everyone, he said. This is my final message from Varkos. He pointed the camera at the river, the trees, and the glowing plants. This planet was called a no-return world. But I learned something here. It is not dangerous if you take time to understand it. Splash came out of the water and rested near Eli's feet. And this is Splash, Eli continued. My friend. My fishing partner. My guard. Splash made a quiet sound like a slow breath. Eli placed his hand on Splash's thick skin. It was warm and rough like stone under sunlight. I don't know if you understand me, Eli said, but you helped me survive. Thank you. He looked back at the camera. I am leaving markers and notes for future explorers. Safe paths. Quiet places. Fishing spots. This planet can be visited. Not to fight it, but to learn from it. Far above the clouds, a small light appeared in the sky. The rescue ship was coming. Eli felt a heavy feeling in his chest. He packed his tools and samples. He folded his shelter and placed everything near the landing area. Splash followed him along the riverbank. When the ship landed, wind and dust filled the air. The door opened slowly. A voice called out, Cadet Carter, we see you. Eli did not move at once. He turned back to Splash. I have to go now, he said. Splash made a deep sound and touched the ground with its tail. Eli took one last fish from his pack and placed it on the stone by the river. For you, he said. Splash ate it slowly. Then Eli walked toward the ship. He stopped and looked back one more time. Splash stood near the river and watched him. Eli raised his hand. Goodbye, my friend. The ship lifted into the sky and disappeared into the clouds. From the window, Eli saw the river grow smaller and smaller until it was only a thin silver line. Back at the Galactic Academy, many beings waited. When Eli stepped out of the ship, cameras flashed and voices filled the air. He survived. He tamed the beast. He changed a death world. Eli felt tired. He only wanted quiet. The commander walked up to him. You did more than survive, the commander said. You changed how we see that planet. And how we see humans. Eli nodded. Later, Eli sent one final video message to the galaxy. Varkos is not a place of fear, he said. It is a place of life. Please respect it. Scientists began to prepare small peaceful missions. No weapons. Only tools and learning teams. They placed a research station near the river. A small sign stood outside it. It read, First Human Camp, River Zone. Splash was often seen swimming near the station. It did not attack the visitors. It watched them just like it had watched Eli. Children across many worlds learned about the human who went to a no-return planet and sent back a fishing vlog. They did not call him a warrior. They called him, the river friend. Eli sometimes watched the stars from Earth and thought about Varkos. He remembered the sound of water and the slow breathing of a great beast beside him. One day he received a short message from the academy. Varkos is now open for peaceful study. Your name is written in its history. Eli smiled. A planet that was once feared now had a story of friendship. And somewhere on a quiet river under a strange sky, a great beast still waited, remembering the human who did not run, did not fight, and chose to understand.